Go.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Paranormal Portal. I'm your host, Brent Thomas. Hope you guys are doing great, otherwise known as the Beatbox. You may not have known that about me. In fact, I didn't even know that about me until I just did that. So, all right, we have a wonderful show lined up for you guys. Yeah,
I'll get with no Oscar Mayo wieners.
Wild thing. All right, so
I need $50 to make you hot.
Don gets paid to do the wild thing.
Great, you're gonna get me in trouble with Mom already.
Hi, Mama. How you doing? Hello to everybody. Well, thank you all for joining us. As you can tell, I'm not here alone. I, of course, am joined by my good friend and co-host, the Big Toe himself, Mr. Don Longbeard.
I swear it's still not healed.
Your big toe?
Yeah, my big toe is still, feels like it's still broke. It's been like months.
Well, give it a job. Earn a living.
Give it a job?
Oh, what kind of broke were you going?
Oh, Jesus.
Thank you.
Oh, gosh.
That's what you guys are here for.
Somebody saved me from Brent's jokes tonight.
Really? Well, I'm not sure you should sit in judgment too hard about that.
Oh, have I got a joke for you tonight?
Oh, I bet you do. Oh, dear God. Are we still going to be monetized after the joke, though?
Maybe not.
Maybe not. All right. Well, we've got a whole bunch of stuff to get to tonight. Happy Wednesday, everybody. What day is it, Don?
It's hump day.
It's hump day.
Hump day.
So you are now past the halfway point to the weekend, which is always good. Always a good thing. Great to see you all piling in here, as always. Don and I are absolutely unrehearsed and unscripted.
Because you can't script this crap. This is
because nobody could write this garbage.
Nobody would.
They would be
they could. They just wouldn't.
They'd be unemployed so
Right.
fast.
What do you do? I write for SNL.
You used to write for SNL. Now I write for the Paranormal Portal. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we're taking Hollywood's leftovers. That's what Don and I are.
The seconds.
We were stunt doubles for the Three Stooges. And think about it. Come on. Where have you heard that before? Hey, Mo.
Mo, how you doing, Mo?
Look at the goils. All right. So we've got the news coming up in just a couple minutes, as well as the Discord question of the week. We got a bunch of strangeness, dealing with more of those glitches in the Matrix stories we've been going through. And then we're going to get to the Cryptid corner. So we got a lot of things to get to in only 2 short hours to get there. So I don't know what we're going to get to. I don't know how far we're going to get, but by God, we're going to give it our all. Right, Don?
Right.
All right. Cue the Rocky music, will you? No, I'm... Yeah, with kazoos. Sorry. All right, I'm done.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's game over. People with headphones are like, God, what was that?
Why do they make those weird noises?
I'm all hopped up on over-the-counter painkillers because my shoulder is killing me. I've got a bunch of ibuprofen in me and some acetaminophen, and by God, it's feeling a little better, but not much. So anyway, you're getting this damaged version of me, but by golly, I'm going to do the best I can.
And you're getting the damaged version of me, but that's what you get every week.
That's the only version there is.
I'll just admit it right now.
There's only a damaged version of Don. I was going to call you Gon. Can you believe that?
Gon Johnson.
Gon Donson.
Gon Donson.
All right. That was actually kind of funny.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You know, I don't know. We are in rare form, I guess, because it's, it's always tough. After we have this several day break, we're just jonesing to get back here and get back with you guys and tear it all up all over again. So,
oh no, Elaine, we're all a little damaged, but we're really damaged. Come meet us someday.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I'll just tell you, I used to love chips as a kid. Paint chips. No, Mom's going to be like, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
I'm going to be grounded by the end of the show. She's like, you go to your
I thought I
room.
brought you up better than that. You go to the corner, mister.
Just make sure to vacuum out the windowsills. That's all I'm saying. Otherwise, you might get this.
Well, it may be a combination of paint chips and swimming in the Mississippi.
Oh God, yeah, those egg sacks. There's an inside joke to that. I saw all kinds of things floating down river in the Mississippi. So some of them were not things I should have seen as a small child, and my grandmother's attempts to explain them away.
Chucky says, if you guys are damaged, then I must be too, because you guys are great in person.
Who needs Skittles when you got the nibble on the bedroom wall?
Right.
I love that old paint flavor.
It's weird. It's weird that you say that, Chucky, because you know what? Honestly, I'm really quiet for the most part when it comes to crowds. But if I know people, I'm not so bad. So,
if you get a beer in him, forget about it. You're gonna be going all night. You're gonna be going all night.
That's
I'm
not
telling
necessarily true.
Oh, dude, when you throw them back, dude, you get louder and more talkative. I'm serious. Your volume goes up incrementally with every drink.
Exponentially, you mean? Yes. I know that's true.
It's a geometric thing with Don.
It's true. Yeah.
Add alcohol and it just explodes all of a sudden.
You think I'm loud now? Yeah, that's the truth.
Yeah. Throw a beer in that man and see what you get. All right. So, without further ado, and probably going to piss off a whole bunch of people who've never seen my show before and go, "Oh my God, you guys did yap for 20 minutes about nothing. When are you going to get to the good stuff?"
We're already there.
Just word to the new. This is as good as it gets. There isn't any better stuff coming. So lower your expectations. Do not come in here with high expectations. You're going to be sadly disappointed. Maybe it's the pain, Don. Maybe it's the pain that
that might be it.
Makes me all
constantly
punchy.
in pain, so yeah, that must be it. Or at least I help people that are constantly in pain.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's because they're in pain because of me. I'm not quite sure.
You might be causing it.
You might be an issue there.
Yeah, well, either way, Don's serving it up hot. So
there you go.
All right, let's get to the news. Don, you ready?
The news.
Oh, I wanted to say before we get to the news, a little news update.
Oh, so you want to take another 5 minutes to say
No, I'm just going to say that there's not going to be a live show on Friday.
Oh, nothing on Friday, huh?
No, it's the Minion's birthday. So.
Oh, yeah. That's a good choice. That's a good
Yeah,
thing.
I gotta do the family thing, of course. That'll be a fun day for him, and I'll miss you guys. But just know Friday's the Minion's birthday, so I'm taking the night off to go. Just gonna go wild with the Minion.
How old is that kid?
He's gonna be 8.
8. Wow.
Yeah, he's about the size of a 10-year-old, but he's
that's true.
He's 8. So,
he's almost 5 foot, isn't he?
yeah, he's literally 4'11" right now. Yeah. So he's a tall boy. There's no doubt. He gets that from his daddy, I guess. I'm not tall though.
You're almost 6 feet.
No, I'm about 5'10" and a half. Yeah.
I was trying to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Well, I should have taken it. when I put my Kiss boots on, I'm about 6'5".
And I look exactly like Gene Simmons.
No, never mind. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Come on.
God,
come on.
I'm so chained by YouTube. It's like, God, the things I would say. If you guys, maybe I'll have to do a Rumble page just so I can be.
What's Rumble?
What's right? It's like a YouTube competitor, but there's no babysitting. It's just,
really?
You do what you want to do, and just to
Well,
give
in
you
that case, my OnlyFans page is now a Rumble page.
Don's good. No, I mean you can't do that. I mean,
But you said anything you want.
Well, yeah, but I'm just talking about talking, dude. Not about.
Gotcha.
I just can't. I can't. I can't. The things that I would say, it has to do with hair, beards. You got the long beard, Don. Anyway, I'm not gonna elucidate on that, or I'm not gonna elaborate. Thank you. I don't know what is elucidate. Right?
Here, let me.
I don't even know.
You could be elusive.
I probably need a nap.
You can be lucid. I don't know if you can be elucidated.
Don, I'm so far from lucid right now. I think I'm a cartoon at this point. My God.
So no show on Friday is what you're saying?
Yeah, you're right about the 5-minute thing, though, weren't you?
Yep.
It takes us about 5 minutes to say anything on the show. All right, yeah, no show on Friday. There will be on Saturday, though. So, you poor people.
I'm just keeping you honest.
I'm so grateful. You don't understand how grateful I am that you guys keep coming back, because we don't give you a lot to shoot for. So. All right, let's get to the news, guys. Let's see what we can uncover about the new happenings in the world of the weird. And we got some good ones, some paranormal ones, absolutely.
Wow,
so
nice.
Let's dig into it.
Let's do it.
You want to hit?
Let's do it.
Here you go.
Hit it.
Oops, wrong page.
Wrong one.
Rookie mistakes.
So, hey, Brett.
Yeah, Don.
What does a wash machine and a 15-year-old boy have in common?
Oh, dear God. You're not going to make me answer this, are you? I don't know, Don. Dude, what is that?
They like to keep a sock for themselves.
Oh, dear God. No. All right, Don's lost microphone privileges for the rest of the show. Don is not allowed to talk anymore. So, Jesus. I thought my shoulder hurt, but never mind. I'm in a whole different kind of pain now. All right, so let's get to the news, ladies and gentlemen, and see what we can do. Are you going to behave, Don?
I'm trying.
All right, keep trying. Let me know when you're ready.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to the news and find out just what the hell's been going on in the world since we last talked to you, because there's been some stuff. The first one's really weird and odd and just maybe mildly disturbing, but so is this show, so it fits right in. All right, I don't know. All right, here we go. I got it dragged over correctly. All right, first coming up, unexplained-mysteries.com. Wonderful, wonderful site. Please support what they're doing over there. Go to unexplained-mysteries.
What?
Dude, just take a drink or something.
I can't. I'd spit it all over my computer.
Okay, well, it's a... All right, unexplained-mysteries.com brings us the first story. Llama dressed as groomsman shows up at couple's wedding.
Pulls a knife and turns on death metal and says, "Don't move, I'll shiv you."
Yeah. If there's one thing that's sure to make a wedding memorable, it's a llama dressed up in a suit and a bow tie.
Oh, that's alarming.
Oh, God. Save those for Rachel, will you? Keen to make their special day as special as humanly possible, Adam and Tara, who are due to be married at Mizzen Albion in New York, decided to hire a llama from Llama Adventures. I don't know. There's an adventure for llamas. A company who aims to share the joy of llamas with everyone. The animal certainly succeeded in turning heads when it showed up at a wedding, dressed as a groomsman, complete with suit and bow tie, much to the delight and amusement of the guests. Unsurprisingly, photographs of the occasion soon went viral on social media. At first, I thought it was a groomsman dressed as a llama, but then he turned, and I saw it was the other way around. Photographer Kathy Kraft told Newsweek. My God, Newsweek paid attention to this? Don, we should dress up a llama and put it in your chair. We'll go viral.
Only if it's a death metal llama.
The bride was absolutely delighted, and the guests thoroughly enjoyed it as they waited for the ceremony to begin. It put a smile on everyone's faces. Yeah, because nobody likes going to weddings, do they?
I don't know, but llamas are good on the barbecue.
How would you know? Have you eaten llama?
Yes.
Dear God, man.
It's really good.
I hope I never trip in front of you. I'm gonna wake up on a spit, just rotating with a nice marinade.
It'd be like this.
Yeah. Jesus, God, dude. I swear to God,
It's called long pork.
Yeah, it sure is. Yeah. So there you go, llama dressed as a groomsman. I guess it's kind of gimmicky and cute, but I don't know. Wouldn't it make kind of a joke out of your wedding, though?
Well, I would, yeah. Chucky Danger says, start alpacking your bags. It's more like I'll packing my bags. Or I start. Yeah, I'll figure that one out. But anyhow, yeah, that's real alarming.
Dear. All right, so that's the first one up on the news tonight, folks.
Sweet.
Llamas at weddings. Yep, I curate the best stories for you guys.
He does, and then he saves them.
I maybe should apologize.
He saves. Why?
Because that was so dumb. It was so stupid. I don't pre-read these.
Lake Clifford said, Don's a real American. They'll grill effing anything. They'll grill effing any grill thing. Yeah,
if it can fit on a grill.
Yeah, if it goes on a grill, I got it.
All right, here we go. We got some Nessie footage coming up next, folks.
Sweet.
And this is some new footage coming out of Loch Ness that does seem to be peculiar, at least. You be the judge, but unexplained-mysteries.com brings us this story. Nessie hunter captures obvious creature moving in Loch Ness.
Oh, boy.
And it's this one that's close up. I think there's a video attached because I did watch this video before. Something's, look at that. Somebody's going to say, oh, look at that. That's a UFO.
Oh,
no, it's the aperture. You're actually getting a reflection of the aperture.
Right.
From inside of the camera. So this is an aperture. This is what they look like inside of a camera. So that's not UFO-y. It's just a dynamic of cameras.
And it is not an orb.
No, it's definitely not an orb. It's a diamond.
It's a diamond.
It's
a diamond in the sky. They were right.
Something strange was moving through the waters of Scotland's most famous loch on Tuesday. Oh, dear God. How do you say that one, Don?
Eowyn.
Eowyn? Okay. Eowyn, I got the old part.
Yep.
Fowdagen.
O parts.
Who is certainly no stranger to recording and uploading footage of Loch Ness monster sightings, had been watching a webcam mounted on shoreland lodges near Fort Augustus on the southern shore of the loch when he spotted something moving through the water. At first, the object seemed to remain stationary, but then it began moving towards the left and continued doing so for some time. My heart was pounding because I knew I was onto something here. And when the creature resurfaced and moved parallel to the boat, what a picture that was, says Eowyn. This picture belongs in any exhibition to do with Loch Ness Monster. I won the lottery with this video clip. It's quite large and throwing up a lot of water, and its wake is nearly as big as the boat. 15 or 20 feet would not be an over-exaggeration. I immediately knew when it first emerged and began to move that this was no large fish. Fish do not have wakes. That's not true. You can check the footage of yourself below. Yeah, I mean, I grew up in a lake. There's lots of fish that swim close to the surface. But in the spirit of discovery, we're going to watch the footage ourselves.
All right, let's watch this.
All right, here it goes, folks. Is it showing up okay? Yeah? Okay, I just want to make sure I got it framed good. All right, I'm going to go up 2 times. Yeah.
Hold on. I got to catch you.
Don's got to catch up. There we go. Yeah,
okay,
that'll be good.
You're good.
All right, here we go. We're going to watch footage. And let me mute it. Oh, no, I guess there is no sound. Okay, so this is the area we're watching here. Oh, look at that. There's a fish ring. But wait, there's more. It's actually pretty decent quality webcam.
Yeah, it looks good.
But I'm here to tell you, anything moving through the water, like a duck, will make a wake that's as wide as the lake or the loch. So I don't agree with his assumption that this is definitely a Loch Ness monster.
No.
Okay, here comes a boat, and it does move. So it was here, and now it's here. Is that right? Yeah. Looks like. Or is it here?
It looks like it's split.
Yeah, I don't know what this might be, just other garbage in the water.
Yeah.
Some flotsam of some kind.
No, see, because those are moving too. Like they're splashing. They look like they were splashing a little bit.
Oh, here, yeah, this now. This is definitely not enormous. But again, with this angle of light, every bit of the wake from both things is going to show up because it catches the light at a different incidence.
No,
I mean, I appreciate his efforts and all, but I don't think that this is conclusively a Loch Ness sighting. In fact, if the splash were as big as that boat, then I'd be like, well, you might be onto something here. But I don't think there's enough of. And he left his cursor right in the middle. Nice job, buddy. Or whoever's webcam this is did.
Right.
I mean, something's moving through the water, but it doesn't. It could be a muskrat or I don't know what they have for mammalian life on this thing, but
snake for that matter.
It could be a snake. You're right. I mean, I've seen snakes swimming in the water many times, among other things.
G.I. Joe go floating in the water.
So I don't know. I don't think it's conclusively anything, but it just means there's something in the water that's moving. So I appreciate his enthusiasm and stuff, but I don't think we're looking at anything revolutionary here. I think it's something just
too nebulous,
I mean, the wake isn't huge like this. This is the boat's wake, and you can see.
Right.
What the hell? Oh, that's just a rolling wave there. Okay, now it's flattening out, cresting. Yeah, and now it's swimming out. So whatever this is could just be a small waterfowl. It could be a fish close to the surface. Maybe it's not doing real good. They tend to come to the surface a lot when they're dying. Yeah. So I don't think this is anything, but, good for him. Glad he caught it. I don't think it's what he thinks it is, but what the hell? Well done. All right. So that was that. Now you've seen it. If you hadn't seen it before,
you've seen it now.
You've seen it now.
Whether you want to or not, it went in your eye hole.
We're always throwing stuff in your eye holes. All right, let's go to this one, which is the next one up on unexplained-mysteries.com. This one is more interesting, a ghost sighting. So I never did change the screen. So there you go. Ghost of a child minor shows up in paranormal investigators footage.
A child minor, as in a child that's a minor, or a minor that is...
I think you can tell that it's a person that works in a mine. By that spelling... ER versus OR. Yeah. Yep. So, Ghost of a Child Minor shows up in Paranormal Investigators footage.
Nice.
This actually looks more interesting to me than this, but if it moves, then that's pretty great capture.
So is that what we're supposed to be looking at? Is that tree?
Well, the circle gives away. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
it's not red, though. I wasn't sure. It's not a red circle.
A video filmed as an introduction to a paranormal investigation ended up featuring something rather unexpected.
Tree?
No, it looks like apparition, perhaps. Let's see. British paranormal investigators Lindsay and Lee Steer had been filming an introduction to their visit to Husker Pit near Silkstone in South Yorkshire when they caught something strange on camera. The site itself is known for a devastating 1838 mining disaster that resulted in the deaths of 26 children. Oh, wow. God. Who had been working in the mine when a flood left them trapped and unable to escape. Oh, horrible. In the clip, as the camera pans out, it's possible to see what appears to be a ghostly apparition standing a short distance away in front of the tree in the background. Now, if it doesn't move, it could be anything, but it looks like a little girl standing there, said Lindsay. She looks like she's got a little white dress on, and I can see a little face, mouth, and 2 eyes. It looked like she's elevated off the floor, and she's got bare feet. How did they get all that from that? It's if the original maybe shows a lot more, but since appearing on social media, the footage has been met with considerable skepticism, with some people arguing that the video is either an outright forgery or just a case of pareidolia, the tendency for human brain to see meaningful shapes in abstract patterns. You can check out the clip for yourself below. What do you think? Well, let's see. Let's see what we think. This is from Paranormal Investigators. Captured ghost of drowned child in mine. It looks like it comes from dog to
grandfather.
Really?
Grandfather came through. That's interesting.
Wow.
Maybe it's a grandfather. Maybe we're being corrected. It's not a child at all. Let's see. I don't want to play their music.
Welcome.
Oh, okay.
And chilling live.
Yeah, I don't want to play their audio, but let's look at it. Okay, so this must be mine entrances here.
Yeah.
I'm assuming. Right, Don?
I'm thinking so.
Yep, and it's a 57-second clip. You can certainly, I'll link the article in the chat. You can check it out for yourself.
It faded in.
Did it? Okay.
It faded in.
Let me check that again. Yeah, it did, didn't it?
Or something moved and it became visible.
No, it's off screen now when they pan back. Oh, yeah, you're right. It did. It became visible as they worked their way out, didn't it?
Yeah.
Let's go back again because this bush is blocking. Then it's slowly coming into view now. Let's go bigger. I wish you could really zoom in. I could pull. Oh, there's a close-up.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah. I can see it looking like a little girl, but I don't know. I don't know.
It's an interesting capture. It's not moving, so it could just be a light effect on the tree trunk, or it could be an apparition. It could be either, and I'm not certainly...
Well, when they step back, they change their perspective.
Sure.
So, it could have become clearer when the farther out you went, because you get more light.
Right.
Because the light you're moving the light forward in front of you.
Right. So I don't know, folks. You be the judge. It could be. Could be an apparition. It could just be some play of light. It could be something on the tree trunk, like a fungal growth, for all we know. It's shots like this are really nebulous, and they're really hard to nail down. But I'll put the link in the chat. You guys can certainly check it out at your leisure, and maybe perhaps you'll see something more than what we were able to determine just here. I would like to grab that footage and really blow it up and do some motion tracking on it, but I don't have the time. Right. I'd like to do that, but I'm not gonna. So there you go. Is it real? Maybe. Maybe it is. All right, let's go to the next article because we got one more to go. And this one I thought was encouraging because, we might need a new place. You ever live in an apartment and you kind of decide you don't like the view anymore? Well, you might be in luck, folks, because according to unexplained-mysteries.com, potentially habitable worlds may be more common than we thought. I think they probably are. But anyway, let's see what this says.
I agree, too.
Scientists now believe there are 100 times as many habitable worlds in our galaxy than previously thought. How many did they think there were?
5?
Well, there's 100 times more now. There's 500. If it was 5. For years, the hunt for habitable extrasolar worlds has been synonymous with the hunt for water, a substance that is inexorably connected with the development and survival of life as we know it. Now it seems as though worlds with subsurface oceans, like those found on Europa and Enceladus, may be significantly more commonplace than scientists had previously believed. The key, according to new results presented in the Goldschmidt Geochemistry Conference in Lyon, France. It's Lyon, right?
Lyon.
Yep. This week, that such worlds are now thought to exist around red dwarf stars. Oh, that's where Krypton was, right? Small, cool stars that are particularly abundant throughout the galaxy. This is made possible by geothermal heat melting the ice on rocky terrestrial planets orbiting them. Most Earth-like exoplanets that we have found today orbit around M dwarfs. Planetary scientist Luhendra Oya, I don't know, I'm just guessing here, told Motherboard, given that basal melting was something that likely happened, and depending on who you talk to, could have been one of the main ways of generating liquid water on our solar system planets billions of years ago, we wanted to ascertain what would be required for basal melting, and this could happen on other planetary bodies. If these findings are correct, then it could mean that there are far more potentially habitable environments out there than anyone thought possible. Wow. Yeah. Could you imagine the red sun? What would everything look like?
Yeah, that
would look red and purple.
Right, and you'd never even be able to come back to the Earth, though.
No, because you'd be a superhero.
That's
probably.
Right. You'd probably end up actually like Brightburn. Have you seen that?
No, but I mean,
God, that thing was crazy.
You can kind of get the gist of it just from the trailer.
Dude, it was crazy.
Oh, I bet it was.
There's another one called Chronicle, which
yes, I've seen that one.
Seattle.
Yep.
Love that one. That was awesome.
That was a good, really well made movie. Yep.
Yeah, if you want to see a really good movie, watch All Jacked Up and Full of Worms.
What?
It's called All Jacked Up and Full of Worms.
I'm probably not gonna.
Don't watch
catch that one.
Don't watch it.
Nope, I'll probably be good. But anyway, there you go, folks. That has been a presentation of the Paranormal Portal news. So hopefully you learned something.
Da, 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 da.
You're welcome. What did I miss?
Nothing yet.
I haven't changed it, have I?
No. Well, you did.
Rookie.
Yeah, but... No, there you go. Changed it to the wrong one. I got another joke for you, but that one's really in bad taste.
Let's not do that one. All right, folks. Whoops, almost went back to the other one. This is now time for the next segment of our show, which is one we've had a lot of fun doing. It has to do with our Discord community. If you're not already familiar with it, by God, get familiar with it, because I'd love to see you over there. You can check out our Discord at any time and become a member yourself.
So you can be further scarred.
Because we have an absolutely low barrier for entry. It doesn't take a lot to belong with us.
Take a quarter step forward.
Yeah. Okay, so if you want to join the Discord, I'm pinning a link in the chat right now.
In the chat.
Join the Discord.
Pin it.
Discord. And it will be https://discord.gg /GG Paranormal Portal.
Where is GG?
It's right there in the link.
No, GG.
All right, so let's get back to more of the adventure that you've been loving here. And Don, do you have Discord ready?
I sure do.
Don has it ready, so without further ado, let's launch the promo. There it is, Don. That's the promo.
Oh, so now's the time to truly taste it's a joke?
No, it's too short for a joke.
Oh.
Sorry. so's my attention span.
Why do I feel cheated? It's like I got set up or something. He was like,
no, you just, you just got sidelined. All right, let's go to the Discord.
Always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Discord.
Did you notice he stopped talking?
Yeah, I had to apply the filter again. My mental filter. All right. Here we go, folks. I should probably pin it before it floats off the screen.
Well, and once again, Chucky, you've been awesome. Thank you. And I actually want to go back and revisit one of the questions he asked for Friday and Saturday. Must be the Friday one about the Oparts. Oparts.
Yeah? That was really good, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, I read the question, but I didn't read any of the answers. So, but anyhow, okay. So Chucky Danger, our quizmaster extraordinaire, says there seems to be a tendency in ghost stories to say that malevolent encounters are demons. Ooh.
Right.
How do you know if it's truly a demon? Or maybe it's just an angry human spirit, which is basically a demon, but a human. Because, well, anyhow. Or even an entirely different kind of entity, like a jinn. Lily Pond says the magnitude of disruption. It's like a human spirit on steroids. Furniture being tossed around instead of glasses, etc. CMB, chasing mound builders. By the way, if you're a mound builder, interestee, go check out our Jim Vieira podcast. We talked to him about that. Really interesting talk. CMB says, I think it's a matter of people interjecting imagination into it sometimes. It's human, right? We read into things and sometimes we read wrong. Mm-hmm. Same thing for when someone says it felt malevolent. Did it feel malevolent, or are you new to perceived energy fields from extra or ultra dimensional? That would be an interesting thing. It's a wild phenomenon, but I think most cases that seem to be negative are such based on the sense of the experiencer could put human concepts into terms of fear and anxiety where it may or may not be warranted. I don't know, though. It's a good question, Chucky Danger. It is a good question, Chucky Danger.
Sure is.
Ariana Abyss. I think lots of people jump to demons because they don't understand how powerful an evil person's spirit can be. A human ghost can jump a person temporarily and may seem to be a demon, but it's not the same. A human spirit can cause bruising, scratches, knocks, bangs, many things you would expect from a demon. Demonic activity progressively gets worse and can be very dangerous, but it's less common. There are also other entities that can be pretty bad. So my answer, in short, is you need a medium to figure out who and why. Well, that's probably actually a better way to get a good answer. Our friend Karen, hi Karen. I think they are mostly people that in life are unhappy or just angry people that carried it on into their afterlife. Very few are demonic in my opinion, for what it's worth, though I do believe some are. It's few. I think there are a lot of shows that feed into that as well, and in my opinion, again for what it's worth, not much, lol, prey on the innocence of some people or their gullibility. It's easy to jump to the demon card and blame everything on that. Some people in life were and are just miserable and hateful and carry it around with them forever. I think if you ask for demons, then you're asking for their presence, such as using a Ouija board or things like that. So opening some kind of a portal. Mm-hmm. She goes on to say it's best to stay away from things like that or seances, tarot cards, things that open up those kinds of channels. Maybe I'm just overly cautious, but I, for one, have no desire for that in my life. Sorry, I went off on a tangent there. That's absolutely cool because I got no desire for Ouija boards in my life at all. No, thank you. More of this, more of that. More of this, more of that. That's what it is. That's our friend B. Mora. Keep an eye on the entities to gauge its hostility or other behavior. Then decide a course of action. Having said that, I'd probably run out in the night screaming. I'm funny that way. Okay. Caleb says, we might not know the answer without some form of communication or interaction with it. Mm. Celtic Thorned Rose says, I don't think we truly can know, we take much that we take, gosh darn it. Obviously, I haven't drank enough water today. We take much that is angry or something doing things that frighten us or seem negative as bad or evil. Okay, when it could be something frightened or acting out. Something frightened or acting out. We could be frightened and just make an assumption based on our fear state that it's evil. So with this, we tend to label things demonic. What do people define as demonic anyway? Some may say it's one thing over another, etc. Some may argue it's a certain way based on a religious belief. Some say demonic beings screw with you slowly in the background until they're ready to pounce. So we are probably coming at it from a different perspective and different ideas. One person's demon is not another's. So it becomes an umbrella term which tends to get overused. Some probably use the term for accolades and then to get attention. Some may honestly believe it is what they say it is. I have seen real humans who are very sweet and kind people go into such rages you wouldn't believe it. But they are not demonic. They simply snapped at that moment, maybe from a buildup of pressure of whatever. Anger and fear are huge reasons for people to act out and not be evil. I feel it's the same for ghosts. There are so many different encounters with so much in the paranormal that lumping certain things into one category just muddies already murky waters and get incorrect info out there for people to parrot. Yes. I would like to just get an account of what happened and also see where the person was in their headspace while the encounter took place. Yeah, what were you doing? What were you thinking? How were you feeling? Were you scared? Were you anxious? That kind of thing, yeah. That would help a lot, knowing if what they heard or saw was what may or may not enhance their feelings or thoughts, if you will. Then maybe we could get a better idea of whether or not it was evil. Yeah, true, yeah. Scenario, ZX81 version 2. Scenario, you lived 100 years ago. You died and got stuck here for some reason you don't fully understand. Yeah, I'd be pretty mad, actually. Now you're also confined to an area, unable to travel. So you sit watching time go by. Some of you will go over insane over the time you've been trapped. Some will just sit and rest and wait. To those who lose it, they become more pain aggressive to whoever gets in their area. Yeah. More of a pain. Okay. Also, there is a thing about how some spirits steal electricity from devices and places. If we can figure this out, maybe we could get a closer look to understanding, a little closer to understanding. We really don't understand the rules of life, no matter what the book tells us, let alone death. Personally, if I was a ghost, I'd freak out as many human beings as possible. It's something to do to pass the time. Yeah, definitely. The difference between a demon and an angel is a very fine line they walk. As with good and evil with mankind, the path is long and some get lost. Interesting idea, yeah. Ash Hermit says, pretty sure this has already been covered multiple times, but I think too many things are perceived as negative just because it was unexpected and therefore scary. Yeah. My dogs are sweet cuddle monsters, but they scratch me unintentionally all the time. They also bump in and move things and occasionally break things when they get excited. The point. If they were invisible to me, those would be terrifying. I agree with ZX81V2. If I'm ever a ghost, I'm going to have so much fun. Yup. There you go.
That's it.
That's
okay.
it.
Very cool. Okay, so what do you think, Don?
About ghosts and demons?
Yeah, what do you, how do you know?
I agree with the statement that it's overused.
Yes.
I just think that term is shocking, interesting. It's a dog whistle. When you say demon, people come running because they want to see what it is. You say ghost, most of them go, been there, done that, right? But if you got a demon screaming in your basement, yeah, people are going to show up. Just ask the guy at the gun show. But I really do think that term is overused and sometimes used incorrectly. Because how many times has anybody ever called you, you're just the devil, you're just evil, you're just mean, you're just demon, you must be possessed. Mm-hmm. Well, okay, that happens to me a lot, but I digress. But I just think it's overused. I think it's a dog whistle word, and you say it, people come running. So
I just want to put this up on the screen. I'm not trying to call this person out. Everybody on YouTube is doing their best to be on YouTube and to succeed on YouTube, but look at these titles. Scary demon. Caught a demon. Here's another one.
Demon
Terrifying demon. Demon caught on camera. Demon. Every video, they're using the demon in the title, and it's just ridiculous.
Right.
It's just sensationalism.
There he used devil.
Oh, did he? Devil. Okay, well, he upgraded once. But anyway, it was like up till 5 months ago, he actually had some interesting titles, but then it was just demon. Now, I don't begrudge somebody for doing what they can to get noticed on YouTube, and I think that's fine, but it's really irksome to me personally, because how do you know if he's a demon? Well, there's traditional symbols that you need to look for. Some of them is the smell of sulfur is commonly equated to.
He has 453,000 subscribers.
Yeah, he does.
Bastard.
But
subscribe to, yeah.
Yeah, I subscribed. Yeah, absolutely. I like to keep an eye on what people are doing.
No, I mean, you were saying something about they subscribe to this idea.
Well, they subscribe to this idea. I don't remember what I was going to say.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. I always lose my own train of thought, so if you do it for me, it's just cutting out the middleman.
Yeah, there you go. No, I'm adding in the middleman.
But, it's the thing is that I'm firmly of the belief that if a demon is around, the last thing the demon wants you to know is that it's around.
It's around, yeah.
The big thing with demons is they prey on us. And, any animal that hunts, they stay hidden. They stay secret. And they stalk, and they observe, and they watch. And these things have nothing but time. Do I think demons are real? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. There's no argument that they're out there, but they don't broadcast themselves. They don't want you to know they're there, because if you know they're there, you can resist, you can fight back. So oftentimes, for me, one of the big symbols is watch for a change in a person.
Right.
Somebody you know and love, and you've known, a large portion of their life suddenly changes. They isolate. They just, they get all dark and broody and moody. Right. Some of it's puberty, but
it's just angst.
Yeah, there's teen angst, and of course that's a big thing, but some of it could be something else. And I'm not meaning just teenagers, right. But when you notice somebody's just changed and they're not the same person you knew, that's a fundamental difference, and it could be mental illness too, and that's the tough part.
Could be.
How do you tell? It could be chemicals, but some would argue that those are a kind of a demon as well.
True.
Our addictions are often known as demons in many circles.
Good point, yeah.
But the true entities that are demons, they don't want you to know they're there, because they want to corrupt and destroy you. Mm-hmm. And so they don't broadcast. But it's an ugly and horrible situation, and these are presences that they are old. They are old presences. This is, you're probably not going to outsmart them. You're not going to trick them, but you can resist them if you know what to look for. And I'm not saying I know what to look for, but there are some traditional signs and symbols that you look for.
Like what Maggie just said.
What did she say?
When they start projectile vomiting green stuff and their head swivels 360
Yeah, head
degrees.
spinning is a big one.
It's a clue, yeah.
Yeah, if that's coming up, you probably want to start talking to a priest or some very astute exorcism. But this isn't the kind of thing that you just sage away.
Right.
These are not those kind of presences. And sage, just for the record, is really not cleansing. It's more like knocking energy down.
Yeah.
Kind of baselining energy. It's not a cleansing tool in and of itself to purge negative spirits. There's other elements that are much better utilized for that. But it is good to, even for our own well-being, to sage once in a while, just because it knocks down energy. But again, how do you know it's a demon? You probably won't. And when you do know, it's late in the game. Yep. It's not too late, but it's late in the game, and you're in for a fight.
It's going to be a long night.
Yep. Yeah. So either you get real tuned in, or you get a some kind of red flag waving, or
right.
You just got to dig deep, because you're going to be at it for a while. Pack a lunch.
Right. Paisley says TikTok magic isn't going to fix it.
No, yeah. I mean,
Not.
you can't download this
No.
kind of stuff. I mean, this is things that people train for. I mean, true like exorcists of any denomination. They aren't just people that pick up a book and
Right.
start reciting stuff. These are people that train for this kind of thing because it is a battle, and these are indeed the principalities that are mentioned in many histories. So, yeah, I mean, it's a scary, scary topic. Additionally, K-Love, since we're in Discord, she had posted some images, and I'm going to try to find them. I'm going through the feed here. I don't know when it was.
Paisley, what does that mean? I have a story.
I have a story.
Paisley says, I have a story.
I got to see where K-Love stuff is. We'll get to Paisley's story in a second, so hold on a sec. I want to see if we can find this because I'm not sure where you put it. Where did you put it? Is it in the question of the week? Did she put it in there?
Chucky Danger says that they bring home a goat named Black Phillip. It might be a demon.
Do you see in the chat if K-Love says where it is? I know I saw them briefly, but I didn't have a chance to look at it.
No.
This is a strange phenomena. I'm looking.
What tag did you put it under in Discord?
I don't see it.
It's under the ghost thread.
Ghost thread, okay. So this is the newest one. Oh, somebody did post it in there. Okay, here, where?
Did that say? Never mind.
Yeah, well, we're just I'm trying to get there. When was this? 6. Well, I'm in June already. It's got to be before that, K-Love. Hotspots. Great info. I'm looking. Sorry. This is stuff that's hard to do on the fly, but...
Yeah, RJ, I got in a fight with a goat one time, too. Guess where he ended up?
I'm betting the grill.
You're 100%
Oh, it's ghost
correct.
hunting in Gettysburg. Did you guys start a new thread?
Oh.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. Next ghost tour. Which one am I looking at? Just for the record here. We took pictures. There's one. I wish I could blow that up. It's very small. Almost looks like someone's down here, but I think that's actually a person, I'm assuming. Down at the end of the bridge.
I don't know. It's not coming up very, very big on the screen.
Yeah, they're very small. I want to look at these really carefully, K-Love, because and I'll message you because we'll definitely review them and maybe go over them on Saturday's show. But I don't.
Yeah, let him go through them and see.
But I really want to bring them in Photoshop and really blow them up so we can isolate what's going on here. This is one, another one, but
Hey RJ, you know what's better on a hamburger? A goat burger. He says goat cheese is good on burgers. Goat burgers are awesome too.
oh, what the hell is that? Oh, I think that's the person taking the photo.
Is that
there.
K-Love?
That might be K-Love taking the photo. Yeah. Yeah. Well, let me go through these and have a discussion with you. I don't know exactly what I'm looking. I can't blow it up. Yeah, that's the person taking the image.
Yeah.
That's a mirror.
I think. Yeah.
No, I mean you can see the hand
Yeah,
holding the phone
yeah.
and stuff. So I don't know what we're looking at for sure, but yeah, we'll talk and I'll review. Here's what I thought the other soldier was. Oh, okay. Yeah, let me review these and we'll get through them and take a look at that.
Oh.
Oops.
You pushed the wrong button.
No, I just didn't close it.
Oh.
I didn't close it from the last time. So this has been the Discord question of the week. Sorry.
20 minutes later.
Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, I look forward to reviewing those images and we'll talk, K-Love, and we'll review them and bring them up on Saturday. Because it'll tie into Saturday just perfectly doing some research stuff.
There you
So,
go. Yeah.
all right. That's very interesting. Okay. Very cool. So one more time. It's the power of magic.
Oh gosh.
Broadcasting magic, as it were. Okay. So very, very cool. And I love that you guys, I mean, if you join the Discord, you're going to get people's stuff like that. You're going to get articles. You're going to get feedback. You're going to, I mean, it's such a cool community. So we'd love to have more of you join over there and take a look at it and get involved, by God. Right, Don?
Yes, get involved, Don.
In the ice can actually
my.
transmit
Hold on.
at 2,047 volts each.
Come on, shut up.
That gives us a
Don't.
long list.
Don't stop.
Welcome to the show, Don.
Sorry. Yeah, gosh, that was just weird. Okay, anyhow.
Don's phone is haunted.
It is, yeah.
Okay. All right. So now that we get that going on. All right, let's get on with more.
Yeah, Paisley said something about Paisley.
Oh,
Are you
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
call in or not?
Oh,
What's
yeah.
the phone number? The phone number is 720
923.
923 0500.
You are right. Let me do this. Boom. Now you got a lower third. I had it turned off
Oh,
when Sheldon was on here. But the phone number's on the screen. Right there.
oh, there it is. Yes, lower third. There it is.
That. So yeah, call in. Call in. Want to hear about it. Let's go. Got a show to run here. Woo! I did the old semi-poll thing. Should have answered them. Oh, we did. No, I love all the feedback. By the way, thank you everybody that responded to the Discord question. I see someone say, "Oh, I thought way too hardly or deeply about
Maggie,
this."
Yeah.
Yeah, don't ever think that. Would love to have you submit whatever it is you think. Okay, we got a phone call. Looks like a Paisley.
That's a Paisley.
I think we got a Paisley here. Hello, Miss Paisley. You're on the air.
Hello, my lovelies. How goes your world?
Well, it's rolling. We've been burning through the night. But what's going on with you?
Yeah, looks like it. It's been pretty good. Finally, mostly recovered from COVID. I got to tell you, that COVID crap
You have
never ends.
no.
And I'm going to whine about it probably for the next century.
That's okay. You deserve it. You made it through it, by God, and that's a huge thing. So thank you, and we're glad to have you getting your feet under you again.
Yes, and I've got insanity happening in the next couple weeks. Looks like I'm a moving.
Woo!
So I've got my studio is trying to be packed up, and then I've got Fair Week because the mini-me decided to go into Fair. She has bunnies, and then just updating everybody because everybody's listening, right?
Mhm, sure.
And then I have the stories, and then after Fair, unpack, and then I'm hoping to be on air because shouldn't I be on air again? Isn't that what this is?
You probably should. That's
Airing
what I'm
my
saying.
stuff,
Airing your grievances
Yeah.
for sure. We do it all the time.
right? Standing on my soapbox, talking about the stuff.
Talking about the stuff. Yep, absolutely.
Talking about the stuff. So, our good friend, Lucky One, asked me a question. For those of you who listen to TFR on a regular, she had a question about a demon experience. And so she sent me this picture.
Ooh.
And you know how when you take a picture with your camera phone, generally it comes out pretty just straightforward. It's a picture, right?
Mhm.
It's an image. Everybody knows what it is, right?
Right.
And, well, this particular image, for some reason, was just broken up from the camera phone. It was almost, it wasn't pixelated, but it was broken up into like 8 different images, just split up. And it was a picture of a couple, a guy and a gal, and they looked like they were happy together just at first glance, and that there was just a malfunction on the camera. But when you zoom in a bit, you know how stereotypical pictures or movie Hollywood images of vampires who have not had a recent meal, but they're dressed for dinner before they go out and have their meal. And so they've got the fancy satin dress that's kind of saggy.
Uh-huh.
Well, if you look at that part of her, which is like one part of the image, but it's cut out and separated from the rest of the images, it looks like that. Like part of her isn't filled. And then her arm that's around her is a slightly different image, but it's around the man, and her arm is plump, like it's full.
Oh.
And then her other arm, which is resting on a bar or a countertop or something, that one is like weakened and wizened, and like it's just depleted. And it's like, well, that's interesting. And each of these different elements are in different portions of the image. And I'll have to send it to you, Brent, so you can see it.
Okay.
And then his face is in 2 separate images, and then her face is in 3 separate images. Her lower jaw is in one, and each of her eyes is in 2 different images. And one eye looks relatively normal, and the other eye is just this black abyss.
Yikes.
And just when you look at it, I don't know, it's just the looking at this picture is the most, I don't know, is almost surreal feeling. And I found out, she is a bartender. She just started working there just to make a few bucks. Next thing you know, she's a bartender. Then next thing you know, she's managing the bar. And then things keep happening. And then the patrons, everybody's like, well, why isn't it busier here? We always have these events. Why isn't it busier here? Why is it always so slow? Well, then you step back and you take a look at the time this individual has been managing the bar. And there's been an increase in deaths of the patrons that have been patronizing this store, or this bar.
Wow.
That's
And
creepy.
and it's not in a large community. It's in your average small town type of community in normal town USA, right? And and all you can, and I'm looking at her, it's like, this is for me, my knee jerk is like, this is not a positive energy.
Right.
And all I can think is this is truly a demonic energy, 100%. And she's probably a soul eater, and with every sip of beverage that people are having at this bar, she's getting a little sip of their energy, of their soul. And as she's doing it, the regular patrons, their energy is slowly being depleted, and so they are slowly getting sicker and weaker, and they're slowly dying off.
Yikes.
But because of the type of bar, there's always an influx of newer patrons coming in because of the type of bar. And once I tell you in private what kind of bar it is, you'll be like, oh, no shit, there's obviously going to be more people coming in because of the type of bar. And so they have been doing all sorts of things to draw in more people, and they do get these bigger crowds. And it's just insane how, when you look at her, she is truly drawing the energy. And you can see almost the energy drawing from the man into her, and it's giving her life force. And she was dating him, and when they first started dating, he was healthy and hale, going to the gym and everything. And suddenly now, during the relationship, he had a heart attack and almost died.
Ooh.
And now, so it's just crazy. So.
Yeah, it's interesting too, because years and years and years ago, I was warned about 2 places, primarily hospitals and bars.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, no, not you. Sorry.
Oh. And interestingly enough,
Wow.
what was claimed was that that alcohol creates potential weakness in our aura, our natural protection.
Yep.
And that is a great place to find walk-ins and other negative spirits
Right,
that
yeah.
are there just to feed.
Just different attachments.
Right.
Exactly.
Yep.
Right, because it lowers your ability to fight off those
Right.
energy vampires, if you will.
Yeah.
And so anytime somebody is thought to confront her about things, they become ill. And so in general, this individual who never leaves. She works, and when she gets off work, she sits at the bar. She plays darts there, so she is always there.
Sure.
Always
Yikes.
there. 7 days a week, from open to close, every day.
Sounds like a succubus kind of thing, doesn't it?
Some kind of an energy vampire,
Well-
certainly.
Yeah.
Yeah, without
mean-
a doubt. But she's not a succubus because it's not sexual. It is truly
With the guy,
truly
it is.
connected.
Yeah. I mean, you know.
Well, it is,
yeah.
but it's not just men that are being
Sure.
being affected. It is 100% people coming into the bar because I don't know if Don shared, but yes.
No. He isn't.
So, yeah, it's pretty darn crazy. So the individual that was the other individual in the photograph, he had protections in place around his home. He thought he was safe. He had iron spikes around his home. He had iron on his property. Within his home, he thought he was safe.
Mm-hmm.
And so now he's like, what do I do? You know, and so he has some, not your TikTok cleansing rituals or egg washes to go through to cleanse the property,
Right.
and his home and himself, and to go through and fix this because it's a significant property cleanse.
Right.
The true property cleanse where you go through and you clean your house from top to bottom, and you take that dirt out and you get rid of it immediately, and then you cleanse with the Palo Santo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you and the sage, and then you put the protective sigils up, and then I suggested leaving the spikes in place because those are good, but to also add quartz because quartz is a boost, and then to add a protective grid in the home with a keystone connected to the quartz.
Wow.
And to continuously walk that property and to get back into doing those things that he used to be doing to help himself and to protect himself because he stopped going to the gym. He stopped doing the spiritual practices he was doing and the meditation and all those things to keep himself spiritually healthy even.
Right.
And
right.
just became a battery for this person.
Yikes. That's creepy. That's really scary stuff.
So, you know, and it's not the big communities that individuals like this are in. They're in every town.
Sure.
Or any town USA or any town in the world. And, you know, it's just a note of warning. You know, if you come across someone like this, often your hackles will raise and you will feel that presence.
Yeah.
And often in our society today, we are taught from a very young age to not trust our instincts.
Right.
Because our instincts are those things that are left over from, you know, back when we were, you know, running amok and, you know, out in the wild without worrying about, hey, what's on TV tonight? And we need to remember that, you know, our instincts and that sixth sense is 100% real. And to be in tune with that. So, no, I'm just looking at the chat. Yes, Grumpy Owl. Yes, there is a binding in the works as we speak.
Oh, good.
There was one at the same. The bindings have happened already, and there will be another binding after a bit. So yes. So yeah, it was just very, 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 very crazy. And yes, Anytown, USA. It's not just the big cities where the clubs are at. It is the little bars and anywhere, or the coffee shops, or the places where people gather because it's easy for those that you don't expect to be malicious or malevolent to be.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I hope that goes okay. Please keep us posted, though, if you would.
Yes. Yes. Well, he's already doing better, and it's been 2 weeks.
Okay.
So, but I wanted to share because as you guys are talking about the demons on air, I thought, you know, hey,
Ding, ding,
I've got
ding.
the perfect story for the Paranormal Portal.
Well, God bless you, and thank you so much for calling in. It's great to hear from you as well. We've sure missed you.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, I do definitely need to get back on the air. I've missed it.
Yeah.
I miss talking to everybody. So, yes.
Well, they miss you too, so get back and get it back at it.
Yes, yes. All right. Well, you guys have a lovely evening. Mini-Me needs to be tucked into bed, for crying out loud.
All right. Well, have a great
Or she's
night.
a pest in the morning.
Uh-oh.
All right. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Good night.
Bye.
Very cool.
Yeah, those are crazy stories.
Yeah.
That's craziness right there.
It is creepiness, that's for sure. Yeah, I mean, sometimes they're already in, and with demonic things, there's a thing called perfect possession,
Right.
and that's essentially the point where there's no difference between the actual possessing spirit and the person anymore. It's like
Right.
a perfect melding, if you will.
And but that takes a while too, though.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
That's like you have to come up with the attachment and then the
Oppression,
Yep,
and then
yep.
possession,
Yep.
and a lot of it gets slid under the radar.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because
because
it's
our
a
Western
gradual
thinking,
thing. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
it is a very gradual thing. It's not like they just show up and go, "I'm taking your soul now." Ah.
And people, a lot of people can put it off to, oh well, he started doing drugs and he started doing these weird
Sure.
things. Well, maybe he started doing drugs because he was oppressed and possessed.
Just needed to feel the sunshine again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's a horrible dark thing, and it's a horrible dark cloud that people live in. So, yeah, I mean, certainly my prayers go out to that person, and hopefully he'll be okay, and the situation will be okay. I know, I'm glad to hear Paisley's working on that. So, thank you, Lucky Gypsy.
$4.99, all you can eat. I'm gonna stuff my face to a funky beat.
Absolutely.
Remember that song?
I do.
remember that song.
Yep.
Fat
All right.
Boys are back.
All right, so let's get to the cryptid corner because we're kind of,
Oh, Cryptic Corner. Wow.
yeah, we're already almost at 8:30 already, dude.
Wow.
Time flies when you're in the portal.
That's
but
right.
that's
It's like flying as close to the sun as you can get without burning up, baby. Time just goes fast.
And so does my patience. No, I don't even know what that meant, but it just came out.
Okay, I'm gonna find another joke.
Oh, no, you're not. No,
Okay, all right.
I have the power of mute.
I have the mute.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get to some Sasquatch Chronicles blog here. I've got a couple more that are in the wings waiting, and this one's a pretty long one, but it's from, again, please visit SasquatchChronicles.com. Check out the blog because Wes really does an amazing job, and he's always working really hard to keep this posted and current. So if you're not checking out the blog, you're only getting a part of the story.
Yeah.
So-
You're slacking too.
And you're slacking too. You don't want to
Bunch of
slack.
slackers.
You don't want Wes catching you slacking. That's
Thanks,
all I'm going to
Jess.
say. What did Jess say?
She says you're definitely not a rapper.
All right.
I'm an unwrapper.
Yeah. God. I'm an unwrapper then too, aren't I? I look like an unwrapper. Or was that creepy and weird?
I like the unwrapper.
I don't know how you meant it. Now I'm questioning my words. Like, wait a minute. What are we unwrapping here? All right. Let's get to the Sasquatch Chronicles blog. This one is from July 2nd. It's a Pennsylvania encounter. So got to find out what's going on in Pennsylvania, right, Don?
Yeah, as long as Eric Mantell.
Eric Mantel's in
Yeah,
Pennsylvania.
he's in Pennsylvania. That might be the problem.
Oh, that could be it. Might be Eric Mantel. All right, Eric, you're on watch. We're keeping an eye. All right, Sasquatch Chronicles blog, July 2nd, the Pennsylvania encounter, summer of 92. A listener writes, I'm a recent listener and I really enjoyed your show. Often I have it on as I'm working on projects around the house or just painting in my studio.
Yeah, he's good for background noise.
Oh, yeah, Wes will make you feel at home no matter where you are. I always thought that a Sasquatch encounter would look just like a Patterson-Gimlin film, but after hearing episodes, I'm beginning to realize something I experienced back in the summer of 92 could have quite possibly been a large Sasquatch.
Do tell.
Well, I'm going to keep reading and we'll find out what they said. Working as a counselor at a summer camp, one day at band camp,
Oh boy.
in southern Pennsylvania, I don't want to share the name of the exact camp because it's been bought and sold a few times since then, and I don't want to ruin their chances of success now. But back when I was mostly assigned to the older, experienced campers, The campers set up in such a way that the younger first-time campers were down towards the bottom of the mountain where the main lodge was, and they were in little shelters that helped them feel more comfortable being away from home overnight, probably for the first time.
Nice, yeah.
Well, as you got further up the mountain, the shelters became more and more survivalist. 3-sided A-frame tin roof platforms, metal frame hogans? Is that a hogan? I guess. Hogan with canvas tarps, and eventually towards the top of the mountain, where are the camp adventure campers? These were 13 to 17-year-olds, and they came at the as they came at the camp Sunday morning. We were gathering up all our supplies for the week down at the main lodge, and then hike up to the top of the mountain where we were set up a survival camp heading out into the Appalachian Trail for 3 days. From the main lodge to the top of the mountain, I would say there's a good 30-minute hike, almost a mile to base camp. There's dirt roads throughout much of the camp for the maintenance crew to do things like remove fallen trees and spray for bees and such, but I should get halfway up past there where the intermediate campers are, the A-frame platforms and canvas hogans. It gets very difficult to get any kind of vehicle larger than a four-wheeler up through the path. Setup. As she got further off the mountains, the canopy of trees, when we are together close enough, they would block out even the heavy rainfall. Thunderstorms were common, but the pelting rain rarely made it through the treetops down in our sleeping areas. Occasionally, the thunderstorms would bring with it micro tornadoes. Jesus. Isolated pocket tornadoes that'll form when the air pressure from the thunderstorms would mix with the climate contained under the tree canopy. At least once a summer, we'd see a path cut through the woods anywhere from a couple inches to 6 or 8 feet across from a micro twister that made its way through. Often immediately following a severe thunderstorm, we would take some of the adventure campers and survey the mountain looking for these unique formations in the forest.
That'd be cool.
Temperature today from Sunday morning through Saturday afternoon, after debriefing from the week, counselors were reassigned new areas where we break off to prepare the next batch of campers the following morning. After which we had free time, rest of Saturday and Sunday. Oh, thank you, Nace. Often we would hang out in the lodge or camp out on our own towards the top of the mountain where the adventure campers normally were. All of us were pretty savvy on how to walk through the woods and what to look for as far as poison ivy, snakes, hornet nests, anything that could be a potential danger to the kids that aren't used to being in the woods. No, I never hunted. I did teach the kids how to look through the woods and listen for deer and the very rare but occasional bear. If you were quiet enough, there's a lot to see, and they would normally get missed. On this particular Saturday night, I was walking by myself from base camp up to the top of the mountain where my friends were already setting up the adventure camp. There was enough of a moon that half the track of the mountain was pretty well lit, to the point that once your eyes fixated in the dark, you could see the path pretty well. When I got to the top of the mountain, I would say about 10 minutes hiking time from base camp. I was close to where they had a natural spring we would often take the campers to fill their canteens before going off on a hike. As you get deeper in the woods, things become more and more quiet. You're more aware of the sound you make and the sounds that the woods make, and you're able to separate the two. For example, do you know what it sounds like when you step on a twig and when you hear the twig snap somewhere else?
Yeah, I can smell the difference.
Yeah. The encounter. Suddenly all sound vanished, like the way it sounds when you're walking through a snowfall. Every single sound in the woods was absorbed. There's nothing. This was sometimes exciting because it usually indicated you were about to come across a family of deer in your path. Instead, looking ahead, the moonlight I was depending on to light the path was suddenly blocked out, at least partially. There was a perfect shape, almost like a black hole, in the shape of a large person about 10 yards or 10 yards feet. It says 10 yards feet in front of me. The moonlight sort of wrapped around it, attached to the point where you can definitely see the light was interrupted by something standing in the way. It was very large black silhouette that took up the width of the path, and I would say it was 8 feet tall. It looked as if someone had taken a large piece of cardboard and cut out a silhouette and stood it in the trail. Only this was moving, and the edges were blurred, like the way light wraps around things. Mm-hmm. It wasn't crisp like I cut out. Crisp like I cut it out? It was blood on the edges, and it moved silently.
Crisp. It wasn't.
It wasn't crisp. Okay.
Like a cutout.
Like a cutout. It was blurred maybe on the edges, and it moved silently without a single sound across the path. Across the path very slowly, as if it were studying me or looking at me. He has moved across the trail. The shape was changing. You could tell that there were arms gently swinging on the legs striding. It lasted about 20 to 30 seconds, moving from right to left across the trail and vanishing into the woods, and allowing the moonlight to come back to light the trail. I told no one about this and just wrote it off as an overactive imagination and product of the woods playing tricks on me. But after hearing a number of your podcasts and understanding now that encounters have many hallmarks besides just a daytime creature sighting, I've come to the conclusion that I came across a large Sasquatch moving through the woods, silent, zero sound, and aside of the moonlight wrapping around his shape, would have probably never knew it was there. So in spite of that, if it wasn't for the moonlight, never would have known it was there. It's kind of weirdly written. Next day, coming back down the mountain the following day, as I got close to the spot on the trail where I encountered the Squatch, there was a new path cut through the woods, like what we've seen with the micro twisters. Only with the micro twisters, the trees are often snapped and bent in many different directions. Right. These smaller trees and brush looked pushed neatly to either side, gently bent, to just allow something to pass through but not snapped. The path created in the woods was about 5 feet across, but after another soaking rain the night before, no prints, just soft mud. So you think it was a Sasquatch, Don?
It's hard to tell, but, it sounds good.
Sounds kind of squatchy.
Yep.
It does. Very cool. That's a good story. Again, it's weirdly written, so I'm sorry if I read that oddly, but it's written oddly, so it's not an easy thing. Again, if you haven't watched it yet, check out the Thinker Thunker video. I'm going to bookmark it or copy it again. I think this is great because it really does address proportions, body proportions, and why Bob Hieronymus could not have been Patty, and vice versa. Patty could not have been Bob Hieronymus because their proportions are wrong. So check it out, and you'll see the inside scoop. I think he did another video of this years ago, and honestly, I think he did a better job on that than this newer one, but you be the judge. Either way, it's definitely worth watching either way because he does raise a great point about how come Patty wasn't a human in a suit.
Right.
So check it out. By God.
Check it out.
Check it out. Gosh, it's already 8:37.
Wow.
Where does the time go, Don?
I don't know.
Do you ever wonder that?
Yeah, right out the window.
Right out the window. Well, it's okay because we have more. We got more Bigfoot news. This one's coming out of Michigan, and it's coming to you courtesy of phantomsandmonsters.com.
Lon Strickler.
Our good friend Lon has a site, phantomsandmonsters.com. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. It's a great repository for a lot of encounter sightings of different phenomena, all in the Fortean realm generally, but he does a lot of work researching the Mothman sightings up around not just the historical ones from Point Pleasant, but right. A lot of newer sightings are coming out of the Chicagoland area. Right. So check it out and look into what he's doing. He's been hard at work at it for years, and I think it's some pretty interesting stuff. So,
right.
And it's also a great repository to find out about Lon's published works, as well as Phantoms and Monsters Radio, his podcast.
How you doing, Sheldon?
Hey, Sheldon Thomas. Good to see you, buddy.
Which reminds me, if you want to know more about Mothman, check out last week's podcast.
Yeah, for Monday.
Yeah.
This week's podcast. Yeah, it's the newest podcast out. I interviewed a gentleman named Travis Short. He's a brilliant guy. He's been working on this Mothman stuff for decades. Yeah, so he was a lot of fun to talk to, and he'll be making return visits as well. There's a lot more to discuss.
Good.
But yeah, it was a good show. So that's the newest podcast episode. Shameless self-plug. Thank you, Don.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
It's my job.
All right, so we're gonna
I get paid by the download.
We're gonna check out the next episode. Way to just put it out there. We're gonna check out the next story from phantomsandmonsters.com. And this is Michigan man recalls several possible Bigfoot encounters. And yeah, the Michigan's no shortage of Bigfoot sightings, especially the UP.
Oh, John,
thank you, John.
Thank you.
Let's keep the theme going. Hope everyone's doing well. Happy birthday, Nace.
Yeah, Nace's birthday was just a couple days ago.
Oh, Nace. Happy birthday, Nace, and thank you, John. Appreciate it, brother. That is awesome. Yeah. Well, that's I'm with John. Let's keep her going. So anyway, just kind of a shameless push, but no, I'm just being a smart aleck. A Michigan man recalls various incidents in which he believes that he had encountered a Bigfoot. He also tells an account about his great-grandmother shooting a Bigfoot in Texas.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Yeah, I wonder why they hate people.
Yeah.
Exhibit A, Don.
There you go.
This is maybe why. His great grandmother. What's that? I don't know. Let's shoot it. All right.
We'll put it on the grill.
Yeah, you would. You'd probably be eating eating big feet. My mother was born and raised in Texas, and she would visit her grandmother in Anna, Texas. And this is a story my great grandmother told my mother and father told me. She lived out in the country and raised chickens and was a tough old pioneer woman. Her husband had died and she was alone on the farm. It was the early 1900s. She had chickens being stolen, so she had a shotgun by the door to catch whoever or whatever it was. Once she woke up in the middle of the night to chickens making a racket. She said that she saw a very tall, hairy creature standing on two legs in the pen. Well, she blasted one barrel at the creature and it turned to run, and she shot at it with the other barrel, and she insisted the story was true and had peppered front porch railing and posts to prove it. My dad's brother had a cabin near Leroy, Michigan. He would take my brother and me to his cabin on many weekends during the year. When I was around 14 years old, my brother was 12, and he taught us to hunt and fish and to shoot guns. We never missed a chance to go with him as he had no children. Oh, my dad's brother's an uncle. Okay. I was like, he had no children. Wait, what? He also had a huge German Shepherd that was absolutely fearless. On one occasion, we were walking on the state land with the dog. It was the middle of the day in the fall. The path we were on led us around this small hill about 10 feet high. We could see over the woods, and then suddenly it went quiet. But soon it sounded like a freight train coming through the woods toward us on the hill. The dog went crazy, and it took every bit of strength my uncle had to hold him back. He went up there to fight whatever was coming at us. I think I could safely say we were terrified except for that dog. It was running on two legs with heavy pounding feet. The branches were breaking. Then, just as it should have come crashing over the hill, it went completely silent. Nothing. The dog went quiet, but kept looking at the top of the hill where this thing should have been. We waited for a bit. My uncle said we should go back. No words were spoken on the trek back, and it was never spoken of until I started watching your videos. There are a couple of old guys talking about an incident that happened years and years ago. My uncle's long gone, but I wish I could go back and ask him about that day. Back in 1969, during the winter, we couldn't get up the road to the cabin as the snow was just too deep. We pulled over and pulled our supplies up on the road in a toboggan. My dad's other brother came up with his snowmobile, and we had fun until it was time to go. It was a Sunday evening, and as we packed up our things and trudged back down to the cars, it was dark and snowing, and my uncle had left his car keys back up at the cabin. I told him I'd walk back up and get the keys. Well, it took me about a half hour to get back up there. I grabbed the car keys and started to make my way back down the 2-track through the woods. I had only gone a little way when I heard branches breaking, like something was following me down the hill. It was off to my right side, paralleling me. It was close, but I couldn't see anything. All I had was my uncle's hunting knife, or was my hunting knife, so I pulled it out and began running down the hill, knowing any moment I was going to be attacked. I've never been so afraid. Just then I heard my uncle's snowmobile coming up the hill and his headlights shining at me, and he had decided I was taking too long and pulled his machine off the trailer to find me. He passed me and drove up a ways to turn around, and I was back at the vehicles when my other uncle came back. He asked me if I'd lost my knife. I guessed I dropped it in the snow while running down the hill. It should have been buried in that deep snow, but my uncle said it was on top and easy to spot. I never told anyone what really happened or why I had my knife out of the sheath. In the 1980s, I was married, living in Dorr, Michigan, about 2 hours south of my uncle's cabin. Well, there were lots of woods and living in a nice house. One summer, in the middle of the night, we both woke from a sound sleep by what sounded like a woman screaming at the top of her lungs. My wife was terrified when she asked me if I heard that. Well, knowing she had heard it and I wasn't dreaming, I jumped out, put my pants on, and grabbed my pistol. Whatever it was started screaming again. I ran into the woods. I was shining my flashlight all over, but not seeing anything. Well, I stopped and stood for a long time and slowly walked back to the house. I told my wife it was probably a rabbit getting caught by a fox or coyote, and just never spoke of it again. That scream we heard that night was no rabbit or owl, and I've heard them both. Yeah, actually, one of the only times a rabbit will actually make a sound is when it's been seized by like an owl or a fox or something, and it will scream. It's a terrifying sound.
Well, they also make noises when they're kicking each other at night, too.
Oh, do they really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. That was from some YouTube channel. I don't know which one.
Have you ever heard a rabbit make noise?
Yeah, I've heard it.
It's freaking scary.
That's what I just said. It's terrifying.
It's freaking horrible. Oh
yeah, they are definitely not going to be in the choir.
No.
Nope, they don't make a noise, and thank God they don't, because if they made those noises all the time, it'd be horrifying. There'd be a lot more rabbit stew.
Yeah. No.
All right. How we doing for time?
Why do you think I have rabbits?
Because they fit on a grill.
Because they look like cat.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, do you know how many ribs a rabbit has?
Go ahead and tell me.
They have 24. They have 24.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's a fact.
That's a lot of ribs.
They also have 3 eyelids.
I didn't know that either.
Well, 2.
I know they also eat their
Up and
poop.
down.
So
they don't eat poop.
they eat their own poop.
No, it's like a. No, it's not poop though. It's like a cow's cud.
Okay.
So
Well, they poop it out.
Well, yeah, that's true. It comes out that end, but it's cud.
Well, no, Mom, I didn't poop on the floor. That's my cud.
That's my cousin.
All right. Well,
Sorry.
all right. Let's get to the last story, I think, of the night.
There you go.
This is also from phantomsandmonsters.com. Campers encounter unknown 7-foot-tall cryptid biped in the Adirondacks. See, I can say that now.
You can now.
Remember, I used to call it Adirondacks.
You can't even say it now.
I can hardly say it.
Adirondacks.
I
There you
can't.
go.
I can't say it the old way anymore. But man, I had the toughest time learning that word. If you watch some of the older shows, I was always tripping on that. It's like, oh no, not again. Adirondacks. Now I know it's
It was
Adirondacks.
horrible. Yeah.
Yeah, I've come a long way, folks. You're
Well,
getting-
plus we've got farm up in the Adirondacks and
Yeah.
and Jake
Jake from
B.O.B. Yeah.
Blue Line Bigfoot, perhaps?
Yeah. Them
Or
guys.
Adam, yep.
Adam. Yeah.
Yep. So let's see what this story's all about. A couple's camping at the Adirondacks camp. I almost said it wrong. Adirondacks campground. After hearing heavy footfalls near their tent that night, they open the flap and observe a 7-foot-tall bipedal cryptid dart into the trees.
Wow.
I received the following account. In the summer of 2009, my girlfriend and I were on our yearly camping trip with her mom, dad, and her brother and his wife. Well, that year, 6 of us had traveled north from where we lived in Albany, New York, to a campground in the Adirondack Mountains. It was a small campground, but they did have cabins, full cabins, there as well as sites for both RVs and tents. My girlfriend's parents rented one of the cabins for a week, and we planned to set up a tent for ourselves just outside the cabin. We left after work on a Friday, and we ate dinner, and we got there, hung out by the fire pit. The 6 of us talked about all sorts of things. It was a great first night. We were all tired, though, so we headed to bed at around 9:30. We'd been up since 5 a.m. that morning, having worked a full day, so we were all pretty tired. The moon was full, so there was plenty of light around, but not enough to see details beyond 20 feet or so. Well, I pitched our tent relatively close to the cabin. My girlfriend's brother and his wife pitched their tent on the far side of the cabin, about 50 feet away. About an hour later, after falling asleep, I was awoken by my girlfriend, who said she heard something outside our tent, but couldn't see anything out the mesh window. She thought it sounded like heavy footsteps walking through leaves and twigs as it moved around our site. We were near the center of the campground where there aren't too many trees, and I listened a bit but could barely lift my head since I was just so tired. I didn't hear anything, so I told her not to worry and that whatever it was would probably move on soon. It was probably just some sort of forest animal just checking out our scent. I instantly went back to sleep, but I woke up again when she nudged me awake a few minutes later saying that whatever it was had moved closer. Well, she said she could hear her breathing outside the tent and felt like something was looking at her through the mesh window. Well, I reluctantly gave in and woke myself up to check out what might be going on. I told her not to move as I slowly unzipped the flap of our tent. As soon as I did, my girlfriend let out a scream because something jumped from the area right outside our tent and jumped into the trees right across from us. We both saw it at the same time before it darted behind the trees. It then stopped and looked back at us. It was about 7 feet tall, muscular, and had a large head with long hair. The creature didn't seem aggressive, but instead seemed curious as it stood there, staring at us for what felt like a long time. It had yellow eyes that almost glowed in the dark, and I feel like I saw a mouth with sharp teeth. After standing there for a few seconds, it turned and slowly walked away into the woods on the other side of the campground. Well, I unzipped the tent flap all the way and stepped outside very cautiously. I looked in the direction that it had gone, but I couldn't see anything in the dark. I stood there for a bit listening before I went back inside the tent and just zipped it up. I was now doubting if we'd really seen anything at all, but at the same time, we both just laid there in our sleeping bags for several minutes, not saying anything and barely breathing. We were both in shock at what had just happened. We stayed awake for probably the next 2 hours, and we did both hear distant screaming noises a few times that night, but somehow we both finally fell asleep, although I have to admit I had dreams of being chased and running for my life through the forest. The next day we all got up and were making breakfast, and I told my girlfriend's brother about what had happened, and I asked him if he'd heard or seen anything at all, but he said he hadn't, so it was looking as if only my girlfriend and I had actually experienced it. But later that day, after morning hike...
Diary.
What?
What?
Nayarit. Nayarit. Do you want to look that up? I don't know what even that word is.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, let's do that.
Nayarit.
Spell that again for me.
Naya.
Oh, hold on.
Nayarit.
Nayan
RIT.
RI
Yeah, just Nayarit.
RT. There we go.
Yep.
Oh,
What? Nothing?
it's a state of Mexico.
It's the state of Mexico. Okay. Well, it's small letters. It's not even capitalized. So the next day we all got up and were making breakfast, and I told my girlfriend's brother about it. And so it looked like they had only experienced it. But later that day, after a morning hike, we were sitting in the cabin with her mom and dad when one of the campground managers came by with his dog. The dog looked like a German Shepherd mix. The dog was acting very strangely, as if he had spotted or smelled something unusual in the area and was trying to pull his owner towards it. The manager passed the time a bit talking to us, checked in on us before finally asking if we'd seen anything like a bear around recently. While saying that, his dog seemed to be very interested in our area specifically. He was wondering what could possibly be up when we told him no. He seemed relieved, but said that he'd received a report from other campers that they'd seen a large black bear in the area and that it was smart enough to have learned how to open up their locked food storage containers. Well, I don't know if what we saw was a bear or not, but I do know that bears don't usually stand 7 feet tall or walk on their back legs. I'm pretty sure bears are nocturnal, so there's that. What exactly did we see that night? I'm not sure, but it was definitely something very strange and out of the ordinary. My girlfriend and I are confident that it wasn't just a black bear, but something much more. And the fact that other campers had reported seeing something similar in the area lends credibility to our story.
There you go.
There you go. There's big feet out there, folks.
Bigfoots.
Bigfoots. That's kind of creepy, though, right?
Yeah, they all are creepy. You know, it's especially the ones that you don't see. It's like the cerebral.
Yeah.
But then again, you know, he said that when he unzipped the flap and flipped it open, something jumped away from from the tent into the, and they both saw it. Yeah, I probably would have screamed like your girlfriend too. Dang right.
Dang right. What is it? Monsters versus Aliens. That animated thing.
Oh.
Suddenly, there's this woman screaming, and it's the general or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah, exactly.
or the president.
Yep, that was
Yeah.
it. Yep.
That was funny. All right, so, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that's our journey tonight. So I hope you guys had a good time, and thank you so much for joining us. Remember, Friday there won't be a live show because it's the Minion's birthday, so we're gonna have to celebrate a birthday.
There you go.
Yeah, you never know. Maybe I'll stream a little bit. You never know. I might do it. I might not. We'll see what happens. See how the reception is and all that stuff. But yeah, hope you guys have a good week. I'll be back on Saturday. Oh, Sheldon, by the way, there's no show on Friday.
Yeah, Sheldon, very important news.
if you're still here. By the way, there's no show on Friday. But if you want to join me Saturday, Sheldon, you're welcome to. But remember that we love you all, and check out our Teespring site. If you want some Paranormal Portal gear, the link is in the description below, so check it out.
Check out my bucket hat.
Yeah.
I got a bucket for my head.
You're gonna need another one.
Does that make it a brain bucket?
Might. If it's a bucket hat, it's on your head.
Yeah.
It's covering your brain.
There you go. What brain?
That's the real paranormal thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, whatever.
Sheldon says gasp. Yeah. It's your little brother's birthday. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, there you go.
Gotta celebrate it. It's kind of important.
Yep.
So, but you're welcome to join me Saturday, Sheldon, if you're not busy. Just, get a
And you're welcome to call your brother on Friday.
You are welcome to do that. So, anyway, guys, that's going to do it. And we'll be back at it on Saturday. So, until then, remember, we love you all so much. We do. Be good, be kind, be nice, take care of each other, help each other out, find the magic in every day, and remember to laugh as much as you can. And have a great rest of your week, everybody. So I'll see you on Saturday night. And until then, be good. Because, we'll be watching. That's all I'm saying.
Good night.
All right, that's going to do it for us. Good night, everybody.
See ya.
I also haven't updated the members list yet. Sorry to those of you who are members. I will do that soon.